Hi, I'm Andrew Wojcik, and I'm here to teach you about the Alamo. Although some may see the Alamo as a lost battle and useless fort, I see it as an inspirational crusade in a time of manifest destiny and Texas independence, and I'll show you why coming up. Welcome to my presentation, the Alamo. Woo! The history of the Alamo actually starts earlier than most would think. In the early 18th century, a Spanish missionary named Antonio Oliveira sought to build an outpost on the modern-day San Antonio area to convert the native Indians to a religion and lifestyle of Christianity, a popular desire within Spanish-controlled North and Latin America at the time. With the countries of the United States and France on the horizon with ambitious goals of expanding westward, the mission was turned into a military garrison in the period 1794 to 1821, and it obtained the name Alamo due to the Mexican Army detachment that inhabited it, which was stationed there for 10 years beginning in 1801 to 1802. It is also important to note that at the time of 1821, Mexico declared its independence from Spain. The Alamo Company, therefore, shifted its allegiance to Mexico. The Alamo Part 2. On December 5th, 1835, 200 Texan volunteers clashed with the Mexican army in San Antonio de Bexar, which was 400 yards away from the Alamo. Over a period of about 4 days, the Texans and Mexicans clashed in a house-to-house assault, a type of battle that was foreign to the Mexican army. At the end of the battle, more than 200 Mexican soldiers lay dead compared to the 20 Texans, including Ben Millen himself, which is a relatively cheap victory in terms of the Texans themselves. By Christmas, the Mexican army was back across the Rio Grande. Mexican General Santa Anna, furious with the outcome at Bexar, moved his troops towards San Antonio after crossing the Rio Grande early in the year of 1836. In February 23, 1836, Santa Anna took claim of San Antonio, setting up headquarters there. Afterwards, for 12 days and nights, the Mexican army returned fire on the Alamo compound, although without heavy artillery, as it was left behind due to the rough winter conditions of Santa Anna's march to Texas. Meanwhile, the Texans could only muster up 200 men, including an artillery unit, and let's not forget Davy Crockett himself. After the last reinforcements arrived from Gonzales, the Alamo was truly on its own. After the 12 days of constant bombardment, Santa Anna's army moved in on the compound. At 4 a.m. on March 6, 1836, the Mexican army was just a mere 200 yards away from the compound itself. Santa Anna's first and second charges were repelled until the third charge, the Tulusa Battalion, broke through the Alamo's crumbly outer wall with 800 men itself. What followed was a complete hand-to-hand fight with rifle butts, knives, and fists. Out of the 800 men from the Mexican Tulusa unit, 130 remained. Presumably, almost all 200 of the Alamo volunteers perished, only after taking the lives of 1,544 Mexican soldiers. 90 minutes after the battle on the 13th day began, it was over. The Alamo Part 3. The people who inhabited the Alamo during the 13-day siege are what makes the legend of the Alamo as great as it is. For purposes of not complicating things, I will focus on one man that I believe isn't covered enough in your AP textbooks, and that man himself is none other than Davy Crockett.
What?
Yep, that's right. Davy Crockett himself was born in 1786 to a pioneering family on the Nolichucky River in East Tennessee. In 1813, following a massacre by Creek warriors upon the occupants of Fort Mims in Alabama, Crockett joined the Tennessee militia, participating in a massacre of Indians at Tallahatchie. Please note that Crockett wasn't present at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, which marked the defeat of the Creeks themselves. Davy Crockett even fought under Jackson himself at Pensacola, although missing the Battle of New Orleans. To continue, seeing that Crockett was a natural leader, he was elected to Congress in 1827 to 1829 as a Democrat, and even ran as a Whig in 1833 opposing Jackson on a number of issues. After a defeat in 1835, angrily, Crockett said, "You can all go to hell and I'm going to Texas." Davy Crockett's intentions for going to the Alamo are still unknown and quite uncertain. But a year later, on March 6, 1836, Davy Crockett would lose his life at the Alamo, making another legend that would last for history. The Alamo Part 4. You thought I was gonna yee-haw. Well, you're right, I am. Woo! To set the context, the Alamo was technically built in 1744, known as the San Antonio de Valero Mission. This existing mission crumbled due to the lack of maintenance and was rebuilt in 1758, although never finished as it lacked a roof. The church itself was destined to have 2 bell towers, however this never happened due to a lack of resources. The existing church once was composed of walls 3.5 feet thick with a limestone block construction. The entirety of the complex covered 4 acres, encasing a priest's quarters, church, granary, workrooms, storerooms, and Indian housing. Shortly after obtaining its name, the Alamo, the mission was transformed into San Antonio's first hospital, as well as a military post. After important dates such as Texas independence in April 21, 1836 after the Battle of San Jacinto, and Texas joining the Union December 29, 1845, the U.S. Army moved in, establishing the bell shape at the top of the church seen today. In 1880, the state of Texas purchased the Alamo, and today the Alamo is managed by the Texan General Land Office, and is currently a place for summer camps and other events. This preservation of history is what makes the story of the Alamo live on, even to this day. Woo!